This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April.
Yes.
We decided to do a 2-movie and 1 review.
Yes.
Do you want to tell the lovely listeners what we're reviewing?
Yeah. This week we're comparing the Lizzie McGuire movie and the Hannah Montana movie.
What?
Yes.
Now, like on the surface, maybe they don't seem like they're very similar, but they are.
Yeah. There's a lot of similarities.
A lot.
A lot.
The only difference is that it's 2 people playing 1 character versus 1 character playing 2 people.
Yeah.
That's really the only difference.
Uh-huh.
And sort of actually the same. I don't
Yeah.
But they were both on the Disney Channel. They were a few years apart.
Uh-huh.
And
I thought they were movie releases.
Well, yeah, sorry, they're both based on TV shows from the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
And again, they were done a few years apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the success of the one, I think that kind of is what generated the Hannah Montana movie.
No, I think the Hannah Montana movie would have happened regardless. It was immensely more popular. I think the music and the double identity really like...
Well, I meant the idea for the show. I think the Lizzie McGuire success and her in the movie, I think that kind of made the show. Because it's similar. I mean,
here's the thing. Like, there's these kids age out.
Yeah.
There's always the next group, you know? So I see where you think there's similarities, but it's just the same type of formula, you know? So that's just going to keep happening.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of Freaky Friday. It's kind of Parent Trap. It's
a whole new set of kids, you know, that haven't seen the stories. So
yeah,
the stories are readapted. Some are recycled, you know.
They're just regurgitated and then spit back out.
I remember I saw a TikTok somewhere where somebody broke down and said there's really only like, gosh, I can't remember the number. I want to say 16 storylines.
Yeah.
You know, and they all just get retold over and over and over again. And it's like, that's okay.
Yeah. And, you know, and watching both of these, especially watching them back to back. When are we going to, and this is even in books, so this is very similar to books too.
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to stop having our protagonist as a klutz? Like, you're not a klutzy person. I'm a klutzy person, but I wouldn't think of you as a klutzy person. And if you were a main character in your own story, that wouldn't be like a thing for you.
Yeah, but like, I may not be a klutz, but how many stories do you see where somebody can't cook and they burn stuff?
Oh, that's true. That's you.
And that is totally me.
I guess so, yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess we all have our thing.
Yeah.
You know, we can't all be good at everything all the time.
True.
Some of us just have worse and more noticeable handicaps than others.
It's just so funny that they had these same kind of tropes.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I noticed, like, especially with Lizzie McGuire, it's always that older sister, younger bratty brother.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously in Hannah Montana, it's an older brother. And, you know, he doesn't get along with his little sister. Though I feel like their relationship's a little bit better than Lizzie and her brother.
Again, when you're a kid, you know, in a more idealistic type of upbringing, you don't worry about bills or food or stuff like that. Yeah. What do you worry about? Your younger sibling or older sibling getting in the way of you doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? And of course, that's going to be exaggerated because I'm sure these situations come up, but again, it's an exaggeration because it's make believe. I'm sure younger siblings will, or older siblings will blackmail another sibling to the extent where the Lizzie McGuire brother did it.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
that is heavily antagonistic.
it's funny, like for Disney shows, I feel like there's a very simple formula, like we've said.
Yeah.
And it's always not always, but it's like older sister, bratty younger brother, all these shenanigans, and they always talk back to their parents, and their parents are always like doofuses. They don't ever know what's going on. And yet I still watched all those shows. And even funny enough, I was too old to be watching most of those shows. I mean, because when Hannah Montana came out, I was an adult.
Yeah, same. I was in my 20s, and I have seen, like, I don't know the whole storyline for Lizzie McGuire nor Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
But I have seen sprinkles of episodes here and there. So I don't know. Like, I knew the characters enough to want to go see the movies.
I had seen all the episodes
Really?
of both of these shows. I'm pretty sure. Definitely Lizzie McGuire. Hannah Montana, I may have missed some. But I still, like, I don't watch Disney Channel now. But even up to like 5 years ago, I'd say I'd probably still watch Disney Channel. There's just something nostalgic about it. And, I loved the Nickelodeon shows growing up. And they had Clarissa Explains It All. And even in that show, they had the same formula. Older sister, bratty little brother, parents are doofuses and unaware of anything that happens. And it's just the same,
if the parents paid attention, they wouldn't have a show.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to do all their shenanigans.
Exactly.
So one thing in Lizzie McGuire, I told you about this, but I'll bring it up again.
Okay.
So about a week or so ago, I heard the song The Tide is High. And I was like, God damn it, I hate this song. And I was like, it's from that stupid Lizzie McGuire movie. I must have put it out in the atmosphere. And then it got to you, and you had it just filtering around in your brain. And then when we were like, what movie should we watch? It just like came out.
So here's my thing with The Tide is High by Blondie.
I hate that song.
I was at karaoke, and I got so excited when I saw Blondie, and I was like, oh my God, I want to do it. I'm going to do The Tide is High. So in my enthusiasm, I just put down Blondie, Blondie, and the song of the song title on the paper. And so then they're up there and they're calling Blondie.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I put my name as. And, we're all just sitting there and they're like, Blondie, you're up. And, I'm not Blondie. I don't respond. And they're like, Blondie. And I'm like, wait a minute, I pick a Blondie song. So I go up there and I look at it and it's me, it's my handwriting. And I was like, oh my gosh. So everybody thought that was so funny. And so then that's when I was a regular at that bar. So that just became my nickname. And they just kept calling me Blondie. And then I was like, and then people didn't understand. They were like, why is she Blondie? She's not blonde. Yeah. And so that's when I bleached my hair blonde.
I was going to say, is that when you did your hair blonde?
So I bleached my hair blonde to match my name so that it would make sense.
Only you would do that.
Well, because can you imagine calling a brunette Blondie and nobody gets it and having to explain it?
It's kind of like when big people are called smalls and small people are called big. I mean, come on.
So yeah.
Let's see here. Why did I say that? Oh, that was weird. I'll take that part out. So Lizzie is graduating from junior high.
Yes.
For whatever reason with cap and gowns. I'm not here to judge, but that seems wasteful. And they just thrust her on the stage to give a speech. Yeah. Now, I don't know how it works everywhere else, but I will say in general, when a child has to give a speech in front of a lot of people, they generally will have you give them a copy of the speech prior to make sure you're saying correct things and you're not saying something crazy off the wall. So I would assume that they probably would do such a thing for a graduation speech. So you're telling me they didn't have this girl's speech there ready, so when she didn't show up, they could just give it to Lizzie, or I don't know, write her something else so she's just not standing up there 2 seconds before, just standing there looking like an idiot.
I wouldn't know. I have not been bestowed that honor. But I will say I did graduate from middle school, but it's more of like you get dressed up.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get dressed up, and you walk across the stage. And I know they handed me something. I think it was just like a certificate or a blank paper. Like, now that I think about it, I don't even know what they handed me. But I know there's a picture of me walking across the stage that my mother took, and I have a paper in my hand.
I graduated 4 times. The first time was preschool. I had like a little preschool graduation. 6th grade. We didn't wear cap and gowns then. We did in preschool. We didn't then. And then I had my high school graduation. We did wear cap and gowns. And then my college graduation, cap and gowns. 6th grade was the only outlier. But we didn't do anything for 7th and 8th grade. I mean, for 8th grade. We were only there for 2 years.
Yeah, I graduated from elementary school, which was 5th grade.
Oh, okay.
But again, you just got dressed up.
Yeah.
And you walked across the stage. I don't know if I obviously I was younger, so I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I remember I was wearing white. Everybody was like, generally the girls were wearing white, you know? Yeah. I remember walking across the stage and, you know, whatever. And then high school, you know, we graduated not at school. That one actually happened at like a sports stadium. So
ours was at our gym.
And I did have a cap and gown. So,
I just thought it was so weird. I was like, okay, whatever. I guess we wouldn't know that they were graduating if they weren't wearing cap and gown.
I guess, yeah. It is a movie. They always go, you know, big in movies.
That's true. That's true. Let's see here. So her arch nemesis is going on the trip even last minute.
Yep.
And of course, because I can't think of the girl's name, but the president who didn't show up to graduation, she can't go on the trip.
Yeah.
So obviously Lizzie and Kate have to share a room.
Yep.
And shenanigans happen.
Yeah. Basically in the Lizzie McGuire story, they're going to Rome.
Yes.
It's a pretty small class, maybe what, like 20 kids or something?
Yeah. One adult.
Yeah.
For a chaperone of like 20, 24 kids.
Yep. And they're going to visit 31 historical landmarks in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like that trip was too long. But anyways, so in these 2 weeks, they go to that fountain of whatever in Rome. And that's when she meets Paulo. And it turns out he's part of a singing duo. And him and Isabella, who's Lizzie McGuire's doppelganger, except a brunette.
And older.
Oh, whatever. Well, he's 17, so maybe she's just a hair older, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Within 4 years at least. But they are not speaking to each other, and they have an awards ceremony, and they're going to sing. And so he takes, I don't want to say a whirlwind romance because they're kids, but definitely goes on an adventure and, you know, woos her to the best that you can, a junior high school kid.
Yeah. She's 14.
Yeah.
Going into high school.
Yeah. So anyways, good, wholesome fun.
Yeah.
And basically poor Gordo he takes the fall because she's faking sick so that she can hang out with Paulo, and he gets kicked off the trip.
Yeah.
On his way home, he runs into Isabella at the airport, and that's when the truth comes out. Paulo is the one that lip syncs, and his goal was to embarrass
Isabella.
fake Isabella that's being played by Lizzie McGuire. to show that she can't sing.
Yeah.
But they turn it around on him,
Yes.
and he is the one that actually lip syncs. And in the end, Isabella, I like saying that, gives Lizzie her moment to sing. Don't get me wrong, I love the movie. I loved it, but like as an adult, it just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like, none of these movies are going to make a lot of sense. So much stuff could have been easily fixed with an adult, like what is it?
First of all,
thinking properly.
There should have been more than one chaperone. For kids that are 14, you should have had at least 2 chaperones, one for the boys, one for the girls, just to kind of keep it even Stevens. Like,
still, that's a lot of kids.
Yeah, no, that'd be at least 10 apiece.
Yeah,
I think you should have had like one for every 3 or 4 kids.
Here's the thing, right? Let's say they're doing dinner.
Yeah,
these are like, I've never been to Europe. But from my understanding, they're primarily small mom and pop cafes, dinner places. They're not going to be like our types of establishments. Like now I'm sure those exist, but if you're going from historical site to historical site and you decide it's lunchtime, you would have to eat in shifts because other people are also dining, and there's no way in hell they can get a table of 20 for one group. So it would make more sense that if they had more chaperones, they could split up at different little restaurants, or they could eat in shifts with different chaperones.
Or, I don't know, someone could take Gordo and hang out with him until he gets on the plane. And don't just send a 14-year-old to the airport by himself.
I don't understand why Gordo couldn't go with Lizzie on her adventure. Like,
well, someone had to detain and keep the charade up. But also, he has already told you that he's escaped. He escaped several times throughout the movie. And you send him alone in a foreign country? Doesn't seem smart.
Maybe they had an airport escort. We just didn't notice them. Yeah, but can you imagine that last minute flight? I'm sure they got I'm sure they had fully refundable tickets because they're kids and an emergency could happen.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure if I sent my 14-year-old kid to another country, I would want a fully refundable ticket.
Yeah.
Just so that they could come back immediately if necessary.
It's crazy. I was just like, this doesn't make sense. And I'm sure it didn't make sense even when I saw it because I was still an adult when I saw this. But still, I mean, it's fun to imagine. It's kind of like Home Alone. You're like, I mean, okay, this is problematic. Well, but as a kid, it's fun.
Here's the difference. When we watch movies for enjoyment, we're just watching them to enjoy it. But having to watch it and then review it, I hate to say you have to nitpick it, but that's the point of it, to talk about the plot holes. But the thing is with these movies were specifically made for kids, so they're not real plot holes. Yeah. They're not real problems or real issues. Now, we can go all day talking about Hallmark movies and their plot holes. Hey, now, that's a different story.
That is... You were talking about recreating,
the same stories.
I don't care if they're all exactly the same. I'm still going to watch them.
Yeah.
I love them.
And again, it's all about knowing your audience. Like, that's what Hallmark does and Lifetime. So it's like, okay, you know your audience. Yep. So they're problematic, but you accept it. Yes. That's what you pay money for.
So at one point when Paolo sees Lizzie, and everybody thinks she's Isabella, a lady runs up to Lizzie and hands her a wheel of cheese. Now,
That's supposed to be super heavy.
Yeah. So as a kid, I would be like, oh my God, I would love a wheel of cheese. As an adult, I'm like, what is she? She can't get through customs with that.
You can in a tuba.
I was like, she can't, send that home. Like, there's a lot of problematic things with this.
Yeah.
And I looked it up and someone had done their due diligence. And I actually
What
did
are
a
the
screenshot.
rules? You can only take like 5 pounds of cheese or something.
Well, it said that the cheese is labeled Parmigiana oregano, which is a very expensive type of Parmesan. Wheels often weigh between 70 to 85 pounds and can cost upwards of $2,000. So this random person just ran up to her, gave her a $2,000 wheel of cheese. You cannot take that. You cannot bring that back to the States. There's no way.
Well, they're going to be there for 2 weeks and there's a class of like 25. I'm sure they could all eat it.
You're not going to eat that. You're not just going to eat Parmesan cheese. It's not Gouda. If it was Gouda or mozzarella or cheddar, that makes sense. But Parmesan? I mean, and you'd have to eat a lot of spaghetti in order to finish that.
Not only that, but doesn't it go bad after a certain point? Like, that's restaurant amount of cheese.
Well, then it becomes blue cheese, right?
I don't know cheeses like that.
Me neither.
Like, the manufacturer may make that big giant cheese, but you sell that by the pounds, by ounces or whatever they got over there. Kilos.
Kilos of cheese.
You want a kilo?
So it's things like that you and one of the kids has a skateboard and he brings it around with him to all the different places. And I was like, first of all,
you're going to get yelled at.
Yeah. Secondly, who allowed him on the plane with that? What parent was like,
checked.
Yeah,
he checked it.
That. And then his principal, or gonna be principal, lets him bring that out when she's like very strict. That is shocking that he's able to sit there and write it. And I was like, plus the cobblestone streets are gonna make it awful. And then he brings it up. He's like, my wheels are all jacked up because the cobblestone streets. You think?
I mean, he's a 2-dimensional character.
Yeah, that's true. He's pretty dumb.
So again, it's a movie made for kids based on a TV show. Yeah. So they've got to continue the charade.
It's true. So we find out pretty early that Paolo can't sing. And he shows that by going, la, la, la. Just kind of like, I can't sing. And then, ironically, Hilary Duff can sing.
Yeah.
Like, she's had albums. She can't sing. So I was like, couldn't they have just done it where she actually could sing and she finally got the courage to be able to do it?
But I like this story.
Well, no, I you can still do all the same stuff, but at the end, when they're actually on stage and once she like leaves and lets her be up there, couldn't it just be her singing?
She was.
Was it?
Yeah, that was her now.
Still the other girl singing.
No, that was her now.
Okay, it sounded exactly the same.
Maybe because it was the same person.
Well, actually, I heard that it was Haley Duff was the one singing.
Oh, okay.
Which is her sister. So, I mean, they probably sing very similarly. And then it was some of the girls singing.
Okay.
It's the one who does the theme song for Lizzie McGuire ended up singing the rest of the song. So there was like 4 different people singing this one song.
Well, good for them.
And it's not a very good song.
I love it.
I mean, it went on. It's a really long song. It was like 15 minutes of the same song.
I needed 20 minutes of it. I needed a longer a cappella version.
Oh. I love how she was like, I feel like I've known him my whole life.
It's been 2 days.
It wasn't even fully 2 days.
Oh.
It's just like, girl, you are 14. Not a good decision maker.
Sometimes when you fall hard.
I guess so. She had a dressing montage, because we always have to have that.
Mm-hmm.
And
loved it.
obviously.
What was your favorite outfit?
The Eskimo dress.
Me too. I loved that one. I think that's the only one I would wear.
Right.
That one or the light one. I like the light one too.
Yeah, but it was plugged into the wall.
True, but the Eskimo one was the best.
It only goes so far. And then they got mad.
They would have batteries on the show.
You would think so.
Yeah, but right now they're just testing to see if she likes it before they rig it with the battery.
I just feel like every time something went awry with the dresses, they were looking at her like, how dare you ruin this dress? But like, how dare you put an extension cord on it? I mean, or have parts of it fall down and then no one stopped the dog from eating it.
So the part where she has like this jewelry dangling from her hair and she pulls the jewelry and the dress rides up.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cute look.
Right.
Like, can you imagine walking the runway, and then that's a Photoshop montage right there where you pull it and the dress rides up and then you do more striking poses.
It's a very Met Gala kind of look.
Oh my gosh, Hilary Duff should go to the Met Gala in that Eskimo dress. It would kill.
They should have a Hilary Duff or a Lizzie McGuire movie themed Met Gala.
That's not. It's based on the art.
That's a movie. It's art.
The theme would have to be Disney movies, and you would have to have art from the Disney movies to present.
That was art. I don't know. It was just an idea. Thanks for poo-pooing my idea.
Well, I'm just trying to bring logic because I'm an adult.
Yeah.
You know, that damn logic we grew into.
Oh, so one thing I think we cannot continue talking about this movie until we address this.
What's that?
Her fake Italian accent is god awful.
That's why Isabella only had a small part in the film.
I remember when we watched The Princess Switch and I was like, her accent's terrible.
I loved it.
It's so much better than whatever the hell this was. This was awful. I like Hilary Duff, but girl, you need some accent
voice trainer,
voice help.
I loved her as a brunette. I don't know, maybe just because you're used to seeing all these different blondes as blonde. Like, I love Britney as a brunette. I love Hilary Duff as a brunette. I love Mandy Moore as a brunette.
Me too.
I mean, we should see more brunettes.
Right.
Or, like, you can still be blonde, but, like, change it up, you know?
Yeah.
So,
like, I feel like they could have just been like, Isabella moved to Italy and became a pop star. She didn't have to be Italian. It was just, that was worse than Lindsay Lohan doing a British accent. Like, it was bad.
It's okay, though. Again, this is for kids. Do you think they're paying attention to the accent? No.
Even as a kid, I think I would have.
I don't remember it being that bad.
Did you remember it when we watched it today?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I said I don't remember it being that bad. You know, you don't remember those things. Do you remember it being that bad?
I literally saw this one time. So
no, you don't, because you were shocked.
I probably would have like thought about it though.
But again, you don't remember it.
I barely remembered the movie.
Oh.
So, I mean, literally I saw it one time and then that was it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously she has a red carpet fall.
Yes.
Because, main characters can't stay on their feet for whatever reason. And he didn't help her up, which that she wasn't clued her in. That he's a D-bag. And how quickly did this plan come together that he thought of this? Because he literally sees her and like the next scene he's like, you have got to help me. You have to help me. You have to do this. Like, geez, guy, that's a lot. Really quickly.
So it could not, here's the thing. he's probably been plotting for a while how to bring down Isabella. And he's probably thought of so many different things he could do. And then she presents herself, like she shows up, and then it's like, what if I embarrass her live on television? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he may have that idea and he's like, I just need to like get her to agree to come, get her to, and it slowly becomes that. It's not so much that he has a full plan formulated.
Yeah.
He's just piecing it together. And I mean, obviously 2-3 days into it, he's got a good solid plan at that point.
So have you ever seen Freaky Friday, the newer version with Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis? So they kind of do that. We have Isabella on the side of the stage and she's singing for Lizzie.
Yeah.
And then they, obviously you said they switch at some point. But I wrote in my notes, a Freaky Friday. And then
that had an awesome soundtrack,
right?
I do too, but I don't have a CD player, so it doesn't even matter.
Oh, that's true.
The Josie and the Pussycats had a good soundtrack too.
I've only seen that once. I honestly don't remember.
So with that movie, when you see the previews, you expect it to be one thing, and then when you see the movie, you're like, did they do a bait and switch? Like they completely sold it as a completely different film.
I'd have to see the trailer.
Ooh, okay.
We'll have to watch that. So it's pretty much all I had for this movie.
All right.
But to get into the other movie,
I do want to say one last thing. So this movie had a budget of $17 million and it made $55 million at the box office.
Oh, wow.
And it came out in 2003.
Yes.
Now, let's just do Hannah Montana. That movie came out 6 years later in 2009, cost $30 million and made $155 million.
People really loved Hannah Montana.
It's because of the music. Definitely the music.
Well, and also just, I don't know if it was more accessible, but they had more like Hannah Montana stuff. Like I don't remember having.
She had her own clothesline at Walmart.
Yeah, and I think that what is really helped it grow.
Yeah, definitely.
And also social media.
2009.
Internet.
Yeah.
In 2003 it wasn't as big. You didn't have all you did have
by 2009. You went to your phone for everything.
Yeah.
You right now, you cross-reference everything on your phone. In 2003, I had internet, but I honestly couldn't tell you I had a computer.
Yeah.
I had a cell phone and it had internet, but it was different.
Yeah, and it cost money. And it was a lot.
No, I always had unlimited plans.
Oh, well,
if the plan existed, I had the most of whatever.
Yeah. So, big important question before we get into Hannah Montana.
Okay.
There are 2 songs that we heard majority in either of these movies.
Yeah.
They're the big finale song. Which song is better?
Ooh. I will say that the Hannah Montana really gets to your feels.
Yes.
It is a better song.
Yes.
Better put together.
Yes.
But the Lizzie McGuire song is happy and upbeat. It's fun.
Yeah.
I will say that the Lizzie McGuire movie was more fun and upbeat. Whereas the Hannah Montana movie really felt more like a movie.
Yes.
Like it was a film with a story and a heart. Yeah. So they're I will have to say the the Hannah Montana, the Miley Cyrus song is better.
Yeah, it's called The Climb.
Yeah, I love it. I have it.
I do too.
I actually listened to it. I have the Lizzie McGuire song too.
Oh, really? I
do. I have both versions, the pop one and the acapella, the acoustic version with Paulo and Isabella or Lizzie. I definitely listened to their version more than the pop version.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, I definitely listened to the Miley song more.
Yes, I do. I have that song on my phone right now.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that song.
Yeah.
So that one probably has to be my favorite as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to rate that movie before or after?
We can do it now.
Okay. So what would you rate it?
The Lizzie one, I would probably rate it a 6 out of 10. What is up with those dresses or outfits that only had a cutout for the belly button?
Right.
It
was weird.
So, yeah.
I would give it, 6 out of 10. A spicy meatball.
We should have said spaghetti. They finally got spaghetti at the end.
Yes,
I'm happy. I'm so happy.
I like that Kate was a nicer person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why
I still hate
Kate
her
twice.
hair.
Yeah.
I hate, like, they try to make her look into, like, a mom.
Yeah.
A terrible looking mom.
It's weird.
Like, my mom is my hero.
Oh, I think she was just supposed to look rich. And she had that, like, rich bitch hair.
She looked like a mom.
Yeah, it was not a good look.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Hannah Montana.
Mm-hmm. AKA Miley Stewart.
Yes, AKA Miley Cyrus.
AKA.
And her real name is Hannah, isn't it?
No, her real name is Hope. Hope Destiny or Destiny Hope.
Yeah.
Because her mother felt that she was destined for great things.
Yes. And then they got the name Miley because she was smiley.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But,
and she legally changed her name to that.
Yeah.
Which I don't really see why you need to. You're already known by that name.
Right.
I think it's more like maybe when she's traveling, everyone sees her ID and they're like, okay, Hope.
Yeah.
Aren't you Miley Cyrus? And she's like, yes.
So at the very beginning, she can't get into her own concert.
Mm-hmm.
They never explain why she was so late.
Have you seen her shenanigans that she's always up to?
True. Like, we don't know what happened prior, but she couldn't get in. So there's still a golf cart to get into the show.
Mm-hmm.
And, nobody knows that she's Hannah Montana.
Uh-huh.
So, and nobody knows that Lily is her best friend that's usually all dressed up either.
Mm-hmm.
So no one would let them in. I know. It's so sad.
But they make it in.
They do.
She starts her concert. Everybody loves her.
Of course.
And next thing you know, they're discussing Lily's birthday.
Yes.
And she's running behind, doing Hannah Montana stuff. She needs a last minute gift. And she gets into a fight with Tyra Banks over shoes. And I love it. I love it.
So random.
I forgot she was in this film.
Yeah.
But girl, I loved that cat fight.
I feel like the fight went on just a hair too long.
No, it didn't. It was just right.
Like, we kind of got the gist, I would have spent my time on backstory of other stuff that happened.
What more backstory did we need?
Why was she late to the concert? That would have been great.
It doesn't matter.
Like, was she at school? Like, if you're going to show her that she's running back and forth between her life, we need to know why the hell was she so late? No. Why didn't her dad drive her?
I was very happy seeing that shoe get flung at Tyra Banks and almost hit her face. I will stand by that.
I mean, it was a fun fight. I just saying.
So then did she even get the shoes? They never said. That's what they needed to say.
Right?
I have no idea who won the shoe fight.
I assume she won the shoe fight.
It felt like she did. But now she's being followed by like this tabloid reporter.
Yeah.
And she's going to her friend's birthday and she doesn't have a chance to change. So she shows up to her best friend's sweet 16 birthday party as Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Now, I personally would not have been upset. I would have been like, oh my gosh, Hannah Montana's here. My best friend.
Surprise,
my
everybody.
bestie. Like, I would have just been like, okay, or just going to go with it.
Yeah.
But instead, she was all butthurt because she got upstage when she should have just gone up on stage and been like besties with Hannah Montana.
I think it's because if you didn't watch the show, you wouldn't see. It's been like 3 years of her supporting her friend, doing all this stuff for Miley and for Hannah, and always getting kind of pushed aside. And this was like the one time they've been thinking about their 16th birthday or her 16th birthday forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's finally her chance to shine. And then her friend takes the spotlight again. Mm-hmm. So I think that's kind of what she was butthurt about.
I just don't understand why they didn't go into a hotel room,
right?
Change, and then come out of the hotel room out of the back door and just take a regular taxi.
Yeah, I was
like
wondering why
you would have been late, but you would have showed up as yourself.
Or I don't know, go into the bathroom at the beach place and like change or something. Mm-hmm. She could have done a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But she didn't for whatever reason.
Yep.
They just can't let girls be friends. They always have to throw a wrench in the mix.
Mm-hmm. I do feel it was sad that when she liked that boy, he dropped her. Her. I will say there were many painful drops in this movie.
Yeah, a lot.
Like,
they were all fine.
They were all fine.
If you were to do that to me right now, I would be hurt. I'd be down. I'd be out. Yeah. I mean, knowing what I know from my roller skating adventure, that was not even a roller skating adventure. I'm going to get hurt real easily.
I think the only fall that would have been okay was when she rolled off of the chicken coop into the haystack.
Yeah.
That was the only one.
And even that one's questionable because I was pretty high up.
True.
And she wasn't expecting it. If you knew it was going to happen. Be different.
Yeah.
So she gets hit in the ball or in the face with the ball. That was my other, similar to the other movie. Mm-hmm. Just always has to have some kind of klutzy moment. And she fell off of everything. She fell off a horse. She fell off a chicken coop.
I can see falling off the horse, though. The horse had no reins, right. And she got up there, and she was trying to lean over and get her luggage, and it spooked the horse, and he took off, and she fell down.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, "Oh, I can't even ride a horse anymore." And we're like, to be fair, she got on that horse.
Yeah.
It just didn't last.
No, it didn't.
I mean, no one said she couldn't ride it. She just
couldn't stay on it.
Stay on it.
Exactly. Do you want to give a synopsis of what this storyline is?
Oh, yeah. So Hannah Montana, or Miley Stewart, she is trying to live the best of both worlds.
If you didn't know, that was the theme song.
Yes. So she's trying to be a normal kid, but she's also a pop star. And she's having to split her time doing both. And so everybody in her life, like her dad, her brother, and her best friend all know that she is also Hannah Montana. They try to keep the secret. Everybody dresses in costumes to kind of keep it under wraps. And she gets in trouble for not wanting to go to her grandma's birthday party and instead go to an award show. I don't know what is with all these award shows, but apparently it's a big deal. It's the
season.
I guess so.
It's award show season.
And so she is a brat and then gets a jet. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well,
but hey.
I think the dad was thinking loophole.
Yeah. And so he takes her to Tennessee for their grandma's party. And he wants her to spend 2 weeks there to try and...
Which I thought was too long.
What is with this 2 weeks business?
Oh my God, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
they both have 2 weeks. Okay.
Apparently 2 weeks can change your life, I guess. So he wants her to see if she can decide who she wants to be. Does she want to be Miley? Does she want to be Hannah? Or does she want to continue doing what they're doing? And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
So Oh, so she gets on the jet. She thinks they're going to New York, but actually they go to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And she tries to
walk to New York,
walk back. And she sits there and a horse bites her wig off, and turns out it's her old horse.
Mm-hmm.
She's lost her whole self and identity because she didn't recognize her horse blue jeans.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's a horse. All horses look alike.
I mean, that one was kind of distinct, but
It's
whatever.
true. But like, if you haven't really seen it in a while, I get why you'd forget. It's not like the horse was like,
you don't automatically think this is my horse.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, she didn't know where she was.
True.
She's just off a road in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know for sure. And so a guy comes and rescues her. His name is Travis.
I think it was a pity rescue, honestly, because he wasn't feeling her at all from the get-go.
Well, he didn't realize it was Miley.
And then when he did, he's like, oh, you're so California, type thing. Like, I did not like him in the beginning.
Well, he was just like, oh, you moved and now you don't recognize me, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't like him.
We're so sorry that you have a heart on for Miley, but geez, get over it.
Yeah.
God. Mm-hmm. And he looked kind of like a dork when we first saw him. He got cuter as the movie went on, but at first I was like, he's kind of a
Who
dork.
was cuter, Paulo or what was this dude's name anyways?
Travis.
No way, Paulo.
Oh, he was gross.
No. I liked
Not a
Paulo better. Mm-mm.
I guess we know our types. I'll show you a picture of the guy now because I think you'd like him a lot.
Oh yeah, well, let me look up Paulo and I'll show you a picture of him right now.
I did see a picture of him. It was not great.
That's not fair. See, I don't look up people.
Well, I looked it up because I was doing research while we were watching.
Well, I pulled up Wikipedia. That's my research.
I was on IMDb.
Oh, where's this? Who's this dude? What's his name? Oh, is that him? No, that's Gordo. Oh,
Yeah,
he looks terrible.
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
he was okay, but he wasn't like
he
super
looks
hunky.
he looks pretty good for being 68. Wait, that's the wrong dude.
That's the right guy.
Oh my God, what dude is? Oh, is this him? Oh God,
His last name starts with a G, I think.
No, Jake. Am I looking at the right movie?
I don't think you are.
Oh, let me cast. Who is? Oh, let me find it. Paul. Okay, Yanni. Oh, this is a nice picture.
Oh, there he looks better. The picture I saw, he did not look good.
Well, he looks fine in this picture.
I was like, ugh.
Yeah. This is acceptable.
That's acceptable, yeah.
This is acceptable. Show me your guy.
Okay. Give me a second.
Even though I can look him up right now myself.
It's fine. We're good.
Let's see him. Okay, you win. You win.
Yay.
But my guy aged fine.
No, he did. I just was like, if I had to
you definitely
pick,
won.
That's who I would pick. But like where he started and where he ended looks like a completely different person.
Your person does too?
That's what I was talking
okay.
about. Yeah, because I was like, okay. And then he had kind of like a Bieber haircut going on.
I know. I would have loved for his hair to have been brushed back.
Yeah, I think that would have changed his look completely.
Yes.
He might have looked, well, maybe it's because he would have looked too older.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think, like, I kind of think if he had that look.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Oh, so she wears overalls, and I'm a little jealous because she looked real cute in overalls, and I have never once looked good in overalls.
Mm-hmm.
Never. I think like 93 was like peak overalls, because Criss Cross, Lauryn Hill. I think it was like a big thing, and I tried it multiple times. I had shorts, I had the long ones, the skirt. Not a good look.
I have never worn overalls.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Mm-mm. I think I might have at one point owned an overall dress, like the blue jean one, but it was in childhood. I have a vague remembrance of just, you know how you will like hook it?
Yeah.
I have a vague memory of that, and like the pocket. Like that pocket is bitchin' though. Can you imagine having a pocket right there for your cell phone?
Right?
Oh.
Yeah, like when girls wear them, I feel like they always look real cute. Like they'll have like a little crop top underneath or like a tank top, and they'll have like oversized baggy overalls, and they look real cute. If I was to do that, if I was to wear oversized baggy ones, I would just look like a man or just awful. Like it's not a good look on me. I can't get it right.
You know, I always say I can never wear that with my body. I can never wear that with my body. And then I see people wearing that with my body, and I'm like, I should just fucking wear it. They're wearing it. They don't give a crap, you know?
I think it's the camel toe situation. I would have to get them bigger so I wouldn't have camel toe, but they can't be too big or I look like I have like droopy drawer situation. It's an unfair mixture. And plus I have a large chest. Hello, fellas. You know, it's just, that's a lot to contain.
Don't contain it. Let them loose.
Well,
be free.
I kind of remember you've seen on 21 Jump Street, the movies, where he's like, oh, are you double strapping it with the backpack? So when I was a kid, it was cool to have like one of your things unhooked or both of them unhooked on your overalls. But now people hook them both. And I'm like, I don't know if I could pull off either way, really. I think it would not look great either attempt.
I don't really remember that being a thing at school.
Oh,
I would
really?
wear them whatever was most convenient. Like if I'm going to be having the backpack on, I'm going to have both straps on. If I'm going from like one class to another, or if it's really quick, I'll just have one strap on.
I meant the overalls. But
oh, the overalls.
Yeah, because when I was
Where
a
did
kid,
I get backpacks?
Well, because I talked about 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
And how when they were in school, it was cool to just do the one shoulder. And then when they went back, everybody was doing the two straps. And that's what it reminds me of with the overalls.
Oh, okay.
Because I swear when I was a kid, people would always either have one strap off or they would have both of them dangling down. Or you'd have them hooked and then you undo them off of your shoulders and just have them like hanging around your hips. Not a great look for girls, but I'm pretty sure I remember Fresh Prince walking around with his overalls like that.
Yeah, I've seen them all ways. I'm not a fashionista person. Like no, never was.
Me neither.
And most likely will never be. I have like a good day every few years.
Yeah. So one thing that bothered me in this movie, out of a multitude of things, she goes to a farmer's market with her grandma to help her sell her jams. And the stalker comes and she is trying to get him to get away. And so she opens up the trunk bed of a truck and all of these acorns or walnuts just roll out. Those are expensive. And she just wasted this person's whole, like, probably crop that he was trying to sell to, I don't know, marble foot this man.
First of all, whoever's walnut pickup truck that was should have had that bagged or barreled or something. The only way I can see you having just a truck bed full of them is if you're selling the whole lot. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the only, and then you would literally like broom them out or scoop them out. Like, why would you just have them like that? Because even if you would, even on a good day, I don't think you could sell a whole truck bed worth of like walnuts.
I don't know. I mean, he must know. He must do it all the time. But I would just like to have seen someone going, my walnuts, and just like running after him or something.
But again, it's a kids movie.
Yeah.
It's very cartoony, so.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. I also, the villain of this movie, well, we had two villains. Well, we had a few villains, but one of the grandma's arch nemesis was a guy who was just trying to build a strip mall.
Right.
You know, like, I get it. You know, you don't want to lose your small town, you know, quaintiness, but really to antagonize him, that, like, you know.
Well, see, and I think it was a meadow, right? They didn't want to lose their meadow. And I'm like,
don't sell the meadow.
How often are people hanging out in the meadow?
I know.
Is this going to bring jobs and people to your town?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's worth it.
I'm just saying, do something with it. If you want it, like, make it into a park or something.
Yeah.
You know, like, just buy the land out from under him and put something there, or just buy it outright.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I think they said something about the mayor and tax money or
of course
something or other. So, I don't know.
So they told the stalker guy that Miley knows Hannah Montana and knows where she lives. And so they said, you know, about 5 miles down the road, take a left at the creek and then a right at the other creek. And
he ends up at a place.
He does.
It's a pretty cool looking house.
Yeah. And then he gets spooked and he rolls down a hill and he lands into this like muddy water situation. Have you ever landed in dirty, nasty water like that?
No.
So one time when I was a kid, the park, speaking of parks, we had this really cool area. So there was 3 entrances into this park that were behind this set of houses. And you could either go this way and go like by the fields, or you can go this way and go by like where the swings are, or there was a path in between 2 people's yards that had a path to the middle of the park. And the park had like lots of different stuff, but they had a slide and it had rained and I guess like the sun had been out and all the stuff. So no one had really been to the park for a while. So we go to the park. I'm going down with my down the slide first. I think I beat my friends there. And I went down the slide and landed in the water and it was green.
Oh.
And I didn't know until I landed in it. And it was smelly, slimy, green sludge.
About how old were you? Like 6, 7, 10?
Probably like 10, somewhere in that neighborhood. And I had to walk home.
Slush.
Yeah, I basically like was
shimmied home
like a star and just kind of like waddled home because I was covered. And I reeked.
Did they hose you down on the outside first?
I don't remember. I just remember doing it and having to walk home. And it was gross, so gross. So I felt for him in that moment when he landed in that muck.
No, I remember there used to be, I guess, these mud puddles, and one time it iced over, and so we would go and we would play and we would like ice skate over it, and as it would melt it would get thinner and thinner, and then we would always be playing on it to see who fell through. But I mean, it was like ankle deep, you know. I may have gotten muddy feet, but again, it wasn't like that icky. It was probably just murky, dirty water.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
It was really gross.
I feel like I didn't lose though, but at the most that may have been what happened to me.
So Taylor Swift is in this movie.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot too. This is when she was country Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Turns out she actually was dating the guy who plays Travis.
So
that's probably how she got the gig.
Maybe.
Or that's how they met. I don't know.
I mean,
she's dated a couple co-stars.
Well, not only that, but you're young, your country, you're a small knit community. So
I'd have to say this is not my favorite acting movie of hers. I think she was much better in Valentine's Day.
Who? Taylor?
Yeah.
She didn't really act.
I know. I just, if I had to pick a movie, I liked her in Valentine's Day.
Okay.
When she was a crazy cheerleader and girlfriend of Taylor Lautner.
Uh-huh.
I just thought it was really funny.
Uh-huh.
So they do the hoedown shuffle.
Loved it. Loved it. Gonna learn the moves. So when the Disney DJ club hits the town, I'm gonna go.
I love how. Oh, sorry. I love how she goes, I'm gonna get a little hip hop on you. She's like, I hope that's okay. And then she does her little hip hop song. Now, is that a Hannah Montana song or she just make it up?
I don't know.
They never really specified.
No, I think she made it up.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if she's saying anything recognizable,
they might know. Jackson.
Hey, do they still have that Unmasking Singer show?
Yeah.
Oh, it still exists?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I always wanted to watch that, but I don't watch TV.
You could probably watch it on YouTube. So at this point, after she sings the hoedown, her boyfriend or soon-to-be boyfriend, Travis, is like, hey, Miley knows Hannah Montana.
Oh my God.
She saved her life. Maybe she can come perform and we can save the meadow.
First thing I thought of is like, oh shit, just say that you lied.
Right?
Just say that you lied so you can get out of this situation.
Or just be like, I think she's supposed to be doing an award show right now.
Yeah. Right? Like
she's not available.
It's like, I mean, I saved her, but like we don't talk on the phone and braid each other's hair.
Like, she didn't give me her number. Is that a bad sign?
Yeah,
Something like that.
So.
But instead she's like, well, I guess I could call her. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she doesn't have to do that. That'd be weird.
Yeah. She also, another thing that made me really mad is the whole double date.
Ugh.
She promised to go to dinner with the mayor.
Yeah.
And then she
no.
Hannah.
Hannah Montana did, who was actually Lily.
Yeah. Either ways, none of them knew what the other one was doing.
Right.
So even whatever. But here's the thing. They expected Miley to be at the dinner. So she should have just said, I have to go to the dinner.
Yeah.
And he would have been fine.
Right?
Yeah.
An easy peasy
Fix.
But no.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't have been that easy. They had to have their 27 dresses moment where she's going back and forth and changing her clothes. And
she should have just changed the time.
Yeah. So the most frustrating one is when she turns back into Miley and she had just been wearing a lobster bib as Hannah. And she changed everything else. And yet somehow the lobster bib is still front and center around her neck. And I was like, seriously? You didn't notice that part?
Yeah.
You changed your shoes when you bent over to put your shoes on. You didn't see it?
Yeah. Again.
Lies. Me and my sister both were bringing up that one at the same time. And then we didn't even say a word because we both were going to say the same thing. It was actually quite sweet. It was a sisterly moment. Oh.
I just want to know, what was her plan in that final spin when she's still wearing her Hannah Montana dress?
Yeah.
And like, is her other dress underneath that dress and she plans to just take it off of her? Like, I don't understand what that last move was to get to the dinner.
Yeah, because
where was she going to change?
Yeah, she was going out there with a crowd of people that were shouting for her.
Well, she was coming out of another door.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very strange. It It was very dramatic.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I do love, though, how she's like taking off her wig, taking off her makeup.
Yeah.
And the little girl sees it and she's like, oh shit. And then Travis gets in there and it's like, oh shit. So I love that whole spinning part. I love what do you call those spinning doors?
Spinning doors.
All right, then. I loved every spinning door montage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was ridiculous and people were getting really mad. Couldn't she just say, okay, hey, I came for this dinner, but I'm sorry, I have a prior engagement and leave?
Mm-hmm.
Like, simple as that. But her dad kept getting mad because she kept leaving.
Which I understand.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I don't understand why both of these dinners happened so early in the day.
Right?
You know, was the mayor thing a luncheon or a dinner? Because
they said dinner.
One of them, I could see the mayor one being a luncheon, having such a heavy meal.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that being a luncheon, but the other date should have been a dinner.
Right.
Like, she had so many easy ways to fix this.
Yeah, and she did not.
You know, when she said yes to going out with him, she should have, it's her fault.
Or Lily could have just gone as her. That could have been a simple thing. Or Lily could have gone across the street and been like, hey, Hannah can't come. Or Miley can't come.
The thing is with Lily going, I think they were going to be taking pictures. So maybe like they would be too scrutinized.
She could just wear her glasses. No one would notice.
Who knows? Like,
I mean, they couldn't even tell that Hannah and Miley were the same person.
Yeah. I don't know. But I definitely think she should have broken the date with Travis.
Yeah.
Or pushed it back to dinner time.
Yeah.
Or something. Like, she sees him every day. Right? He works at the farm.
Yeah.
You know, what's one more day?
Exactly. It was very stupid.
But we needed a plot problem. We needed a plot.
Yeah.
Right? So, fine. Whatever.
So he finds out her secret.
Yeah. And then he's all mad.
Right.
Oh, I don't like him.
So then she goes to the concert.
Mm-hmm.
She's performing. And then just all of a sudden she was like, I can't do this. I have to be me. I have to tell you guys the truth. And then she performs the climb.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is basically like, I guess I can't be Hannah Montana anymore. And the little girl's like, please still be Hannah.
We'll keep your secret.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody. And I'm like,
girl, I already done took pictures and posted it online.
Like, who in the world?
It's 2009.
Yeah.
I have a Twitter account.
Right?
People know.
We have Facebooks.
Yeah. And then I would have been like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, sorry.
I was just like, you ain't gonna keep that a secret.
Like, that would not. First thing you do nowadays is take your phone out.
You'd be like, oh, I gotta tell some people.
Be like, oh, I wasn't supposed to say anything.
Yeah. Whoops.
I did not get that memo.
Delete.
It's too late. It's out there.
Screenshot. Yeah, I was like, that's implausible.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna happen.
Uh-huh.
Because especially nowadays, people would have their camera recording.
Dude, it's 2009, okay? No, yeah, it was already happening back then.
Because I know I had a video phone, at least.
Oh, hell yeah.
I may not have had an iPhone or a fancy phone at the time, but I had a smartphone.
2009, I think I might have had a Sidekick.
Yeah.
So, or I had my chocolate.
Yeah, I think I had my chocolate or my
You had a
Juke.
chocolate too?
Uh-huh.
What color was yours?
Like burgundy?
Mine was red. Oh my God, twinsies.
Samesies.
I loved that phone so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked mine. But then I went and got the Juke.
After that, I got the Sidekick.
Look at us.
Yeah. I missed out on the Razor.
Right.
I've always wanted one.
So at the end, Lily gets a cowboy.
Yeah?
She gets her man.
Uh-huh.
Dad gets the girl.
Yeah.
Jan Levinson Gold. And the publicist gets a hot dog and a cotton candy.
Yeah.
Poor lady. That's all she got.
And the tabloid reporter was the hero to his daughters.
Yes, he got the love and respect of his girls.
Yep. And
he quit his job.
Yeah.
And did Grandma get with the...
No, that was just the end montage.
Okay.
She didn't get with anybody.
For some reason, I kept thinking she gets with the...
real estate developer?
Yeah.
No, that was just the dance at the end.
Oh. Maybe I just made that up in my mind. Maybe I figured they would do that.
Oh my gosh. When you're talking about Grandma, when Billy Ray destroys all of her dishes.
Yeah.
And he saves Elvis Presley and then he dings it on the chandelier. I was like, oh, that hurts. Yeah. That hurts so bad.
So bad. It was awful.
That was the worst one because I was not expecting it.
You're like, I saved it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Do you have anything else about this movie?
No. I loved the clothes.
Yeah, the clothes were really good.
Loved the clothes.
She was like holding on to that wig during the climb.
In case you weren't sure who she was no longer pretending to be.
Yeah, like she put all the rest of the stuff down. They changed microphones, and then she was just like had this iron fist grasp on the wig.
Remember, those wigs are expensive. Remember Moira and saving her bebés?
Yeah.
I can't let them get smoke. I just gave her a blowout.
It's true. Well, I have nothing else. Which movie would you say you like more?
First, let's just rate this one.
Okay.
I would rate Hannah Montana because it feels like more of a fleshed out film. I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. The date and the lobster dinner pissed me off the most, and I hate it.
I would also give it a 7 out of 10 chicken coops.
Oh, that was a beautiful coop.
Right?
Loved it.
I liked it.
So let's compare them.
Well, I'm assuming we both must have liked Hannah Montana more since we gave it a better score.
Yeah, it was more... The Lizzie McGuire was definitely a made-for-TV type of Disney movie. But the Hannah Montana movie was more of a film. Like, let's say you can have the Hannah Montana movie without having the TV show.
Yeah.
Because you immediately find out what the plot is. She's living a double life so that she could have her privacy.
Yeah.
Whereas the Lizzie McGuire movie...
you need a lot of backstory.
You don't need the backstory, but the characters are not so well-rounded because you get that from the TV show.
Right.
Whereas this movie could be a standalone.
And you would be like, why is there a little tiny cartoon Lizzie McGuire? Like, that's weird.
Yeah, like the movie definitely goes with the TV show, whereas the Hannah Montana, you don't have to see the TV show.
Well, and also, I think Lizzie McGuire on the TV show, it didn't have a laugh track and it didn't have a live audience, but I'm pretty sure Hannah Montana has either one or the other. And so watching the Lizzie McGuire movie, it seems like you could literally take the show and just kind of splice it into the movie and it's the same kind of thing. But I feel like there is a big difference between the Hannah Montana TV show and the movie.
Yeah.
It was a big difference. There was a lot more heart. There was a lot more substance.
Yeah.
And there was just a lot of fluff and filler in the Lizzie McGuire movie.
Yeah. Like if your parent, like obviously your parents and grandparents are going to take the kids to see this movie.
Yeah.
They would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Not that they wouldn't enjoy the Lizzie McGuire movie, but you would be rolling your eyes like, oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, really?
She could have been kidnapped.
Yes. Oh my God. I remember thinking like, that's how you get human trafficked.
Right?
You know? And not that the Hannah Montana movie doesn't have those eye-rolling moments, but it's a well-rounded, fleshed out story.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, April, if people want to tell us what other movies we should put head to head, where can they find us?
You can find us at Two Chicks Talkin Flicks over on Instagram.
You can find us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com.
You can also check us out on TikTok, Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And you could stroll on over to Facebook and visit our Two Chicks Talkin Flicks page.
Yes, you can.
And that's all I got for this episode.
Share and like. Woo! Toodles.
Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Giovanni. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.